on it.
Can we make this a little quicker? Only because I got a consult at 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and the other thing I want to ask you is, for farmers, employees, or anybody in this complex, do we want to give them like a discount on their monthly?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Family.
Okay.
Good
10%.
morning.
Okay. Which one?
What's up? Are we live?
Which one? The family one, as in the family plan, or just the? 10%
Let's talk about it maybe after the show.
We won't have time.
I was thinking family plan.
Okay, so. Okay. You sure?
Did everybody hear that? Just kidding.
Okay. I was thinking 25% off in my mind.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have about 3 minutes after this, and I think we could talk about it then.
Okay.
What up, Kay? Miss your face. Miss your face.
Hey, sister.
Sister. We got anybody on the IG?
Granddad.
What up?
I'm the pappy.
Are you the father?
Kendall.
What up?
What up?
Who
Oh,
else
wait,
is on there?
I'm trying to watch our live, but I don't see it.
There it
Oh. So now I can see who joins.
is. Sandra, I miss you too.
Hey, if you guys hop on, make sure and say hello.
Okay, you know it was weird when we were texting the other day? I was trying to find your name, and I was like, Sandra. And I'm like, I don't call her Sandra. She's in my phone as Kay.
Kay, yeah.
Oh,
I know.
man.
Every time I see Sandra Kay, though, I'm like, oh, cute, Sandra Kay. I don't know. I like it. It's got a really good ring.
It does.
Really good
Indeed,
ring.
it does. I talked to your man this morning.
How's he?
He's doing good. He was a little tired. He's a little tuckered.
Yeah. Feel ya.
Yep. He's a little tuckered.
You're probably working a lot.
Yep. And he should be off sleeping right now.
I love it. We're like, oh, do you know where my husband's at?
He should be sleeping.
He should be sleeping. Good thing we're talking about sleeping today.
Yes, we are indeed. What a segue. Woo!
It's amazing.
Okay. So what we want to
Set
talk about?
that up.
What we want to talk about on that sleep, yeah.
Well, let's talk about how most of us are not getting enough sleep.
Okay.
So, majority of Americans, I say Americans like it's only a problem in this country.
Yep. My fellow Americans.
Majority of people everywhere are not getting enough sleep.
Tell us about this.
Well, it is just a thing. No, sleep affects so many things, guys. It affects, we kind of got into this topic last week about sleep and weight loss, and that's kind of what started bringing it up. Like, hey, maybe we should talk about that again. It's been a while. So today we want to kind of talk about how sleep and losing weight go hand in hand. They join together, and then they are like, all peaceful and whatnot. Christian, what's up? How you doing today on the IG? So we want to talk about recovery. We want to talk about the effects that it's having on your recovery, your brain functionality. Man, this is such a big one for me. If I don't get enough sleep, this thing, it stops. Talk about that your weight, your body fat versus your muscle mass, the ability to fight cravings, your caffeine addiction, your skipping exercise because you're too tired. There are so many things. I mean, it really goes. Sleep goes into, what's up, Tyler? Sleep goes into every aspect of your life. If you're not getting enough, you're paying for it in one way or another. So that's what we're talking about today.
For sure. One of my favorite sayings is not sleeping and then doing cardio or doing more exercise is like stepping over a $20 bill to pick up a quarter. Okay. It is that important that you get the sleep in, right? But yeah, this speaks to us on different levels, right? As we've kind of like try to prioritize this, or at least maximize the sleep that we can get anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because I pay that bill daily. That's right, son. You better pay that bill.
That's right. What's up, Matt?
So
DJ Matty Blake.
yeah, in the hay house.
In his house.
I need you to do your
Yipper,
thing like
yipper.
that.
Yipper,
Going
yipper.
forward. DJ Matty Blake in the hay house.
I like his ass.
You like his house? I like hay house. Hay house is more old school, I must admit.
His house.
Hay house. You okay with that? Okay. So, okay. Let's go into this.
Yeah.
Let's go into this. What we
Yeah.
got?
So let's talk about skipping sleep.
Okay.
Or I say skipping. You know you didn't get enough sleep. Top two issues reasons for not getting enough sleep. Kids, work. Netflix would probably be number 3. Maybe not. If you don't have kids, bump up Netflix. One more. Whatever the reason, you're probably not getting enough sleep. When you do not get enough sleep, your brain does not function properly. So your frontal lobe is not firing the same, which actually lowers your ability to make proper and good decisions. Consider it like being a little bit tipsy. Like your inhibitions are a little off, or your decision making, your ability to make the good choice. You don't have quite as much drive or fight or energy or ability to make the good or better choice.
Yeah. And I think a good example of that is actually why the military, especially if you're like a SEAL or any high specialized force, they make you make decisions when you're sleep deprived, right? Hell Week is famous for essentially, I think, less than 4 hours of sleep a night over the course of 127 hours. And the whole idea is to make you make decisions and think cognitively when you're extremely deprived, right? So thank the Lord for the military and what they do, especially going through that stuff to keep us safe. So shout out to all you guys.
For sure.
But yeah, not only, you think about metabolically groggy, but you may find yourself, like I'm doing right now, is starting a sentence and going, right? Like the thought is there, but I can't get the whole thing out. Or you find yourself going, what's that word for? Right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, your cognitive thinking is a little bit slower. You're a little foggier. You feel like you need more coffee or you need more stimulant to have that awake feeling that you should just create naturally. I'm already on, I've already had one coffee plus one Starbucks and it is 10:38, so I am crushing it. It's Friday. What can I say? We've been busy. It's been busy around here.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I feel like somebody's going to fall through that roof today. Oh, man.
Lord, I prayed that does not happen.
Me too. So let's talk about cortisol levels, because this is something that's really interesting whenever you start looking at the association of weight loss and sleep going hand in hand. People are like, oh, if you sleep more, you'll lose weight. Well, it's not just because you're sleeping that you're losing weight. So maybe you can kind of go into a little bit more of that science.
Sure. Do you want me to go on the cortisol part or just later down the road?
All of it.
Okay. When they looked at dieters over a 14-day period and they cut back over their sleep, specifically the weight loss they dropped from fat was decreased by 55%. That's a pretty big deal, and considering that and their calories stayed the same. So as the group that was sleeping the right amount and the group that wasn't sleeping the right amount, their calories stayed the same. The difference was the amount of sleep. And one lost 55% more fat than the other group.
Go ahead.
What's even crazier than that, okay, is if you really get into the science of this and you look at the...
Insulin?
No.
Cortisol?
No. What do you call that? Circadian rhythm, okay? So, circadian rhythm.
I think you might need a nap after the show.
It's not happening.
I know. I saw your calendar.
Hey, you can take a 3-minute.
No. The circadian rhythm of like when we should be going to bed, which is they say optimal time to go to bed is around 10, right? To midnight at the most, okay? So 10 and then midnight, you're really pushing it. If you go to bed at that time, all right, based upon how the clock works and how the earth rotates and etc., you'll get the hours between 10 and noon, and midnight, are like getting double the sleep. Crazy.
Man.
So if you sleep typically, I have some people that say, I still slept 8 hours, right? They didn't go to bed till 4. Well, yes, you may have slept 8 hours, but it's not the same 8 hours, right? It's completely different. So it's so cool to see how, deep you can go into this, but we're just going to stick with the more of the surface level stuff without getting super nerdy on you today.
So the interesting thing is that, like you were saying in the study, the insufficient sleep, what's it called? We're killing it today.
Insulin.
Words.
Words. Sleep. That's the show. See you later.
Yeah, your body will not produce insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is needed. I'm going to get it together. It's a hormone that's needed to change the sugar, starches, and other foods into energy. So it's not necessarily that sleeping more just makes you lose weight magically because you're fasted for longer or your body's at rest. It's chemicals that are reacting and changing in your body as you sleep. So insulin sensitivity can potentially be dropped, and then you're just storing fat basically. So sleep, man. That I know that this is why this got brought up, because you got the CPAP.
Yeah. So
So he's a living testimony to just the change of actually sleeping instead of waking up 5,000 times a night.
Please do that one more time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's how I picture I'm sure that's going to be a clip.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Great. Can we just make it a GIF? Where
Yeah,
it's
we
just
could.
going?
Yeah, just
Okay.
some bobbleheads.
Thank you.
All right, so Matt says one question, and this is going to go into sleep hygiene, Matt, so I'm going to come back to you on your DJ's working until midnight every night. We're going to be fat forever. I got an answer for you, brother. I got an answer for you.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, so CPAP. If I was to say anything, if you snore or you know anyone who does snore, you need to get a sleep test done. Plain and simple. Just do it. A sleep test was probably the most significant physical change that I've made in 2.5 years. By itself. I was getting my sleep interrupted over 39 times plus. They don't even have a scale after that. They just tell you that it's over that. So it could have been every minute and a half or less than that. So it could have been 60 times an hour. They just said over 39 times an hour. So it was on the severe side of sleep apnea, meaning every time I'm asleep, my airway gets cut off. I stop breathing. My body shifts and moves to wake me up because I'm going to die. And this is how people literally die in their sleep. So
How many of y'all have had a sleep test? I want to know. In IG2, I want to know. How many of y'all have had a sleep test
so
or
wake myself up.
wake yourself up?
Yeah.
Wake yourself up, right?
Probably
the
so.
jerk. I've seen it. You can spot it when somebody has sleep apnea though. If you see them sleeping, I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
It's just wake up.
And the crazy thing about it is you think you're probably always have a headache. You don't even know that you always have a headache until you stop having one. You have this clarity of mind. All of a sudden, everything that you're doing, if you're doing nutrition right and you're exercising, it multiplies. It just plain multiplies. Because you're recovering properly, you can actually build muscle. Your hormones get reset at the right time at night. So everything in your process just builds upon itself. It's awesome. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I would say if anything on that, get a sleep test. They're super cheap now. You can get one at home. It's maybe $100 for you to get a sleep test. It's a monitor that goes around your chest like a chest strap, goes on a finger, and then they have a little strap that goes around your nose, kind of like at the hospital. It's just to check your sensing and your breathing, right?
I didn't even know you could do it at home.
That's how I did it.
I
Pulsometer.
had no idea.
Yeah, pulsometer, thing across the chest, and a little thing here. You wear it. You need to wear it a minimum of 6 hours in that night. You take it. They download that information. A licensed doctor will be able to come and explain it to you, tell you what those numbers mean, tell you how severe it possibly is. And now the CPAPs are automatic. So they're pressurized, so they automatically can sense how much pressure you need, and they up or lower it based upon that pressure. So it's phenomenal, because once you go with it, you're not going to go without it. And the new are compact. I mean, their travel size are like this. The one that I had is gigantic, but the new one that I have is compact. It's probably like half the size.
No way.
They're phenomenal. 6 per hour, but I've never got used to the CPAP, so stop using it. I'm telling you, Chris, as much as we talk about getting those gains and wanting those gains,
Yep.
you got to have one. You wouldn't be able to sleep with it on. If you care about your life and you care about your future, you'll make the decision to put one on.
You'll
Plain
get
and
used
simple.
to it.
And
It's kind of like wearing glasses.
yeah,
you
and
know?
they also have so many different options for actual masks, because mine is called a nose pillow. So this one's different. The first one was really old school. It'd go around here and it'd always be in the way. I could only sleep one way. This nose pillow, the thing is at the top, so I can move any way I want to, and it just sits right here. It slowly puts pressure. Super easy. You can have reading glasses on. It doesn't mess with your face. Super comfortable pads. They continue to make it better and better and better. But if you have, and you know it, and you've had it before, you need to be on it, because I'm telling you, your progress will be 3 or 4 times slower without that proper sleep. So if you want to gain muscle, Chris, and you want to continue losing body fat, which I know you are, and you're especially since you're doing the work, you're in here all the time, you're lifting heavy, you're doing all your protein, you're following your nutrients, and you're still you're still making gains, but they will be multiplied if you get your sleep taken care of. So you gotta look at that. You can also look at mouthpieces. However, I don't know very many that work, and you gotta kind of go down that road of discovery. So
I have a question.
yes, ma'am.
If you do a at-home sleep study and you wake up for other reasons, like let's say you wake up multiple times a night, but it's not because you're snoring or waking yourself up, does it accumulate those as times that you've woken up, or is it just based off of your breathing?
Typically it's going to be based off your breathing, but it takes all those 3 things into account, because it takes your heart rate. So if your heart rate is spiking, it'll take what your heart rate is based upon. Even if let's say that you woke up 3 times because of nightmares, that still would not override the fact that you woke up this many times,
Right.
for etc.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I don't know how much I wake up at night. I don't think it's because I have sleep apnea, but who knows if I'm snoring.
Yeah. So that's it on the sleep apnea stuff. But I want to get to Matt's stuff about DJs being up at midnight constantly. Yes, this is a thing. Now, in your line of work, because you have parties that end at certain times, it always is kind of fluctuating. It's always kind of changing. This is kind of where we're going to get into some of the talks about sleep hygiene, what to do, how to develop a night routine, and what 3 things that I think you should stop doing, and what 4 things I think you should start doing in order to get at least the most quality sleep possible, right? So 3 things to stop doing. Stop drinking water or beverages between about 2 hours before bed, right? You don't want to have to get up a whole bunch of times during the night, okay? Get off electronic devices for 1 to 2 hours before sleep, or you can wear blue light blocker glasses. Now, the interesting thing about blue light blocker glasses is they're not all created equal. Find one that has a UV light that you can test the strip on, because what should happen is the UV light should burn the paper when it's not behind the glass, and then when it's behind the glass, it should not touch the paper. That's how you know it's a good set of eye blockers. You can find them on Amazon. And then don't sleep with the TV on.
That's
Right.
going to rock a lot of people's worlds.
Yes. Don't sleep with the TV on.
I cannot tell you how many people are like, oh, I sleep so much better with the TV on. I'm like, screw that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you sleep with
Absolutely.
the TV on.
4 things to do. Keep the room cool. Black out any unnecessarily lighting on electronics. I have a portable AC, and it has a light on it. I have a little piece of electrical tape that blocks out the light. On my chargers on the ground, I have black electrical tape on them. On anything that could produce a light, it is blocked.
Yep.
Right? And then if the room is too quiet, get a noise canceling or sound making machine.
You
right?
don't even need, there's so many apps, so you can just, you can
do it
app
on
it
your phone.
up.
You do it on your phone. But I have the AC unit and I have the fan going.
Yep.
That's plenty of noise.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, turn on your phone. Man, you can even go to YouTube and just look up fan noise. I mean,
Yeah,
and they have a
AC
black screen.
AC
fan
unit.
noise.
But you know what? It's that there's something different for me about the vibration of like the actual AC coming on, like the one in our office is like where I sleep the best because it's so loud. It has its own AC unit up there, and it's like the Thunderdome. Like
Oh, yeah.
it you can almost feel the vibration of how loud it is, and I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Dustin's bad with the TV. Got the blue blockers. It's good.
The other thing, get to bed at a consistent time or as close to consistent time as you can. This is where I think Matt, in his scenario, or if you're at a job where you have to have consistent sleep, you try to get to bed as close to the same time as possible. So many times we think like, okay, let's say you go to bed every other night during the week because of your work schedule at, you get 6 hours of sleep, right? Saturday, Sunday, you can sleep in. You're like, oh, I'm going to sleep in, et cetera, and your body is still under that clock. It likes that routine. So even if you only get 6 hours of sleep on Saturday and Sunday, your body is better off knowing what it's going to get than trying to supply it with extra sleep because you can't make up sleep. That day is that day and that's it. So you're better off having a routine of sleep, saying, hey, I can only do this many hours at this time and maybe I can take a nap, etc. at this time. But that's the way that's going to help you to kind of maximize. Can you explain why it can't seem to wake up when it's raining? Like, I could have an alarm next to my head and it just isn't happening. It could just be the simple amount of noise.
Maybe you would sleep better with a sound machine.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a sound machine.
Yeah. You can use apps, right? But I'm telling you something about the base of like a sound machine or like the actual window unit or an actual AC. There's something that's different about that for me. That may just be totally nerdy and like way too far over the edge, but it is a very real thing. So if you're like, oh, sound machines don't work for me, well, make sure you like look at all of those different options before you just rule them out and say they don't work.
Yeah, I think the great thing about that is she knows what works for her and what allows her to get good, deep sleep. Apply those principles to yourself. Figure out what will give you the best sleep possible, right? Because that is going to be a game changer for anybody trying to get and maximize their gains. If you're working out consistently and you're doing all this other stuff, you've got to take care of the sleep.
Yeah.
You've got to take care of the sleep. You'll be surprised how much muscle you'll gain, how much fat you'll lose by doing what you already need to do.
Yeah. So remember that it's not so much that if you sleep, you're just going to like lose all this weight, but your body, too little sleep is going to, tamper with your metabolism, which contributes to weight gain or the ability to not lose weight at all. So we're just trying to keep those metabolisms on point and keep those attitudes sharp.
Not the one. Yeah, I think we did put the sleep. We put the sleep deprivation. We put all this other stuff on here. We did forget about like if you have sleep apnea, or you have some type of inconsistent sleep, it does lead to depression because it changes your hormonal balances, and so you're not getting estrogen or testosterone or human growth hormone released at the right times, or if not at all, or very little, and this wages war on your hormones, which can lead to depression.
Matt, yes.
It does absolutely stall weight loss. It will stop it completely. 100%.
Yep.
And actually will help you gain.
Yep. Your body will like go into survival mode.
Yep. It is definitely all about those gains, bruh.
Gains.
And yes, it will. It'll definitely stall your weight loss for sure.
What up, Color Lounge on the IG?
Color Lounge.
Yeah.
Now I want to know
Burbank.
who this is.
Color Lounge Burbank.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to totally check them out, though. Coming for you.
Right after
Just
this. Right after this.
Right now.
I'll find you. What else we got? Is that it?
That's it, man.
Guys, sleep. It's important. If you have a snoring issue, get a sleep test. They're super cheap now in comparison to what they were. Less than $100. You can get a sleep test, have somebody analyze it, tell you what's important about it. There's a great CPAP shop. It's called CPAP DFW. It's off of Davis Boulevard in North Richland Hills. Phenomenal owners. They know all about it. They have CPAPs as well. They use them. Super knowledgeable. That's where I got my new one from. They're fantastic. Other than that, thank you guys for joining us today. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube today. if you like this content, or you know somebody else struggling with sleep, give them our testimony on sleep, specifically and how it changed our lives just in the last couple years, specifically mine. So once I got the CPAP, things changed drastically for me. Energy, you name it. Mood, temperament, you name it. Body composition, you name it. So this is the most significant change that I made from a physical standpoint in the last several years was my sleep. So,
One mile from it. Then no excuse, Matt.
yeah,
no
bro,
excuse.
get up there. His name is Roger, by the way, and he's awesome. Is that where you can get the test too? No, but I can recommend a place for you to get the test.
Or the home test, right?
That
The
pounding-
home test is probably cheaper than going somewhere to get a test, right?
I got mine from a clinic, so I went to get my testosterone checked, and they had a sleep
gotcha.
thing in there.
Okay,
So,
cool.
but
Maybe we could leave
that
those
banging
in the
noise is they're
comments.
working on the roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Other than that,
The Inception. Yeah, the aliens will be here any
Yes,
minute
yes.
to take our sleep.
so other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you share this with someone that you know. If you have any questions, please PM us. Hit us up. If you have our phone numbers, text us. If you
Yep.
don't have our phone numbers, gym phone number 817-210-4200, DTS.com, DTSOF.com. / no, there's no / just DTSOF.com. All right. That
All
is
right,
it.
I'm Casey.
I'm Kadimah.
Have a great Friday, great weekend.
See
Enjoy
you
the
later.
clouds
Bye-bye.
outside.
Instagram. Holla at your boy.
Lil Lawrence?